Hi dear students. So in the last sessions we discussed about phytopathogens, that is bacterial diseases, fungal and viral diseases. So today let's discuss about the methods of plant disease management. So let's check some general strategies for it. First one is to exclude the pathogen, that is to prevent inoculum from coming into an area where the pathogen does not occur. For that, the measures like quarantines, inspections and certifications can be done. And the next one is to eradicate the pathogen, that is to remove or reduce inoculum by methodologies such as crop rotation, sanitization, eliminating alternative host, heat treatment methods, and the usage of some pesticides. Next method is to protect the healthy plant against infection by providing a barrier, and the barrier can be chemical, biological, or physical between the host plant and pathogen. The next one is developing genetic resistance of the plant against the pathogen. And the last one is avoidance. That means to avoid development of a disease on a plant even though it does not occur in that area. That is to prevent the occurrence of disease. Let's see what's quarantine mean in pest control. Quarantine or eradication programs directed by governmental agencies according to federal and state laws are used to prevent the introduction and spread of pest. Quarantine is a pest control process designed to prevent entry of pests into pest-free areas, and some states maintain inspection stations at all major entry points to intercept pest or material that might harbor pest. Regulatory agencies monitor airports and ocean ports. And eradication is the total elimination of a pest from a designated area, and often these pests are under quarantine restrictions. Okay, now let's see what are the natural controls. These are the measures that check or destroy pests without depending on humans for their success. And natural control include climatic factors such as wind, temperature, sunshine and rain. And also the topographic features such as rivers, lakes and mountains can also have an influence on the pest movement. And naturally occurring predators, parasites and pathogens can regulate pest populations. And the next one is the cultural control. And the goal of cultural control is to alter the environment, the condition of the host, or the behavior of the pest to prevent or suppress an infestation. It disrupts the normal relationship between the pest and the host and makes the pest less likely to survive, grow, or reproduce. And some of the cultural practices in agriculture crops include the selection of cropland varieties, timing of planting and harvesting, irrigation management, crop rotation, and use of trap crops help reduce populations of weeds, microorganisms, insects, mites, and other pests. And so what do you mean by trap crops? These are plants that attract agricultural pests, usually insect, away from nearby crops, and this form of companion planting can save the main crop from attack by the pest without the use of pesticides. An example of this trap crop is the alfalfa planted in strips among cotton to draw away lygus bugs. The cultural management involves the following techniques, that is the sanitation is to provide a clean environment and to remove or reduce the sources of inoculum. Inoculum refers to that weed and or the alternative host or insect vectors or the dead matters. Next one is pruning. It removes infected tissue, promote more vigorous growth and it increases air circulation. And coming to the watering procedure, you should avoid overwatering or underwatering, or flooding of the soil is also not promoted. Then the planting date. The planting calendar should be in such a way that it should be unfavorable. It should provide unfavorable condition for pathogens and provide a favorable time for the host. Now coming to the fertility, we should avoid over fertilization or under fertilization. The fertilizers that should be provided should be in the optimum condition that will be promoting the growth of the plant. Then the crop rotation. Non-host plants and resistant varieties reduce soil-borne pathogens population. So by planting different crops sequentially on the same plot of land, it improves soil health and it also optimizes nutrients in the soil, and it will also help in combating the pest. And then we can use trap plants or trap crops, and also we can use antagonistic plants. Antagonism refers to the action of an organism that suppress or interfere the normal growth and activity of a plant pathogen. And also the quarantines, restriction on moving plant materials across the country, state or national borders. This also comes under the cultural management. Next one is the chemical management. Chemical controls are pesticides that are either naturally derived or synthesized. Pesticides typically cannot cure heavily diseased plants. There are various types of pesticides. There are fungicides which kill fungus, bactericides which kill bacteria, nematicides that kill nematodes, insecticides, and other biocides. The contact fungicides are the type of fungicides that will be only effective at the site of application and must be applied before the pathogen infects the plant. The various classes of chemicals work in different ways and present different risks and problems, not only to the plants but also to the humans who consume such plant products. Then there are systemic pesticides, and these are absorbed through leaves or roots and then transported within the treated plant. Similarly, systemic insecticides cannot be eaten by or injected into livestock to control certain pests. In contrast, contact pesticides are not absorbed by treated plants or animals. These pesticides must directly touch the pest or a site the pest frequents to be effective. Genetic resistance. Degree of resistance or susceptibility vary among plant species and varieties. Healthy plants are more resistant. Sometimes plants and animals can be bred or selected to resist specific pest problems. For example, particular livestock breeds are selected for physical characteristics that prevent attack by some pest or provide physiological resistance to disease or parasitic organisms. Resistance also is enhanced by maintaining the host health and providing for its nutritional requirements. Certain plant varieties are naturally resistant to insect pathogens or nematodes. Many plants actually repel various types of pests, and some contain toxic substances. Plant resistance to insect pests can sometimes be achieved by transferring genetic material from certain insect-destroying microorganisms. For example, Bt toxin can be obtained from Bacillus thuringiensis, and it can be used for insect resistance in plant. Next method is the physical management. In that, there is heat treatment, that is steam sterilization of soil or materials, soil solarization, and other heat treatments. In soil solarization, solar power is used to increase the soil temperature to a level at which many soil-borne plant pathogens will be killed or they are weakened. Next is the cold treatment. That is, refrigeration can be done after the post-harvest. Then the moisture management, reducing humidity, drying out of bulbs, tubes, etc. for the winter storage. If the presence of moisture is there, there are chances that more microorganisms are there to contaminate the plant products. Next is the mechanical control, and the mechanical control involves the use of devices, machines, and other physical methods to control pests or alter their environment. Traps, screens, barriers, fences, and nets are the examples of devices that can be used to prevent pest activity or remove pests from a particular area. Exclusion is a mechanical control technique that consists of using barriers to prevent pests from getting into an area. Window screens, for example, exclude flies, mosquitoes, and other flying insects. Then is the biological management. Most pests have natural enemies that control or suppress them effectively in some situations. And the natural enemies, including pathogens and insects, are being used successfully as biological control agents to manage certain insect, mite, fungus, animal, and other weed pests. Sometimes parasites are also being used to manage the pathogen attack. For example, crown gall caused by Agrobacterium tumefaciens can be reduced by using a product containing the competitive bacteria Agrobacterium radiobacter strain 84. Biological control also involves the mass release of large number of natural enemies into fields, greenhouses or other locations to control specific pests.